Okay, so some strange news has broken in the last few minutes, and that is Conor Benn is set to make his ring return this Saturday. Yeah, colour me confused. Multiple news outlets are reporting that Conor Benn is set to make his ring return against Rodolfo Orozco this Saturday in Florida on the undercard of Richardson Hitchens versus Jose Cepeda. Now, yeah, um, correct me if I'm wrong, but this was slightly out of the blue. Definitely caught me off guard. And I'm just going to say straight up, this doesn't sit well with me at all for obvious reasons. This issue, this scandal that Conor Benn has been involved with for just under a year now hasn't been resolved. We haven't received any conclusive evidence, answers, or even theories as to, the situation surrounding the two failed drugs tests in the lead up to the Eubank Junior fight. So that situation, and I know specifically the appeal with UCAD, is still ongoing. So Conor Benn really shouldn't be fighting. However, this is something we've seen many times throughout the years in boxing, whereby when fighters are currently entangled in these controversies and these scandals with one particular sanctioning or governing body, they would just go overseas. They go elsewhere to the jurisdiction of another sanctioning or governing body and just fight there. And I guess it's just the loopholes, those loopholes that exist in boxing, and fighters and their teams capitalize on it. Now, the opponent that Conor Benn has in front of him this Saturday, Rodolfo Orozco, seems to be a bit of a pie, as I'm sure you can probably imagine. This fight's being announced on 3 days' notice. Orozco is 32, 3 and 3, so that's 32 wins, 3 losses, 3 draws. 24 of his 32 wins comes by way of knockout. This guy hasn't fought outside of Mexico. He's got plenty of people on his record with losing records, and 3 losses. One of the guys was 13 and 0. One of the guys was 19 and 15, 19, 15 and 3. His first loss was to someone who was 5 and 0. So yeah, this guy is, oh wow. I've just scrolled to the bottom of his record as well. This guy turned pro in June of 2015 at 107 pounds. 107 pounds. That is mad. When was that? That was like 8 years ago. So, he was 16. All right. Kind of maybe give him a pass then, seeing as he was 16 turning pro at 107 pounds. But I mean, that's not going to make or break it. This guy is probably a bit useless. Although he is 6'1" at welterweight, so I guess that's one saving grace. I know plenty of people are probably going to be hoping that this is one of those very dangerous but very unheralded Mexican fighters who's going to turn over the Brit. They probably want to see him put a beating on Conor Benn and stop him in brutal fashion as some form of justice. And hey, I hear you. I don't think it's going to happen, but I hear you. I'm not sure how I feel about this really. I don't think Conor Benn should be fighting until this situation is resolved. But, unsurprisingly, we see fighters in their teams just using loopholes to carry on. And it's really a shame, like this whole situation, because Conor Benn as a person, I don't have any time for. I think he's an idiot and I think he's a bit of a scumbag. But Conor Benn, the fighter, I was warming to. I liked his development. I thought his team were taking him in the right direction. I thought he was a very entertaining fighter. Liked his style. And I felt like he was really taking shape and becoming like a decent contender, if he carried on the trajectory he was on. But I don't know whether it's greed or a lack of faith or just impatience or maybe a bit of a 3 and plus something else. But, they insisted on this Eubank Junior fight. And pretty much since that saga began, it's just been a downward spiral. And this situation with UCAD and the British board is yet to be resolved. We, as boxing fans, and for boxing as a community, an entity, we need answers when there are scandals like this that break out. things just can't be swept under the rug. Oh yeah, we'll just take you over to Florida and you'll fight there. No, we need answers. We deserve answers. You know, so many times boxing fans, we invest our time to watch, our money to watch. We consume the media. We basically give people jobs. We pay them because we consume the media and the content that comes out of boxing. But we can't even get straight answers. We can't even go seemingly a few days without being mugged off by someone. And that's what Eddie Hearn and Conor Benn have done. Conor Benn, over the past year, just under a year, has acted like a complete brat. He has insulted people who have asked very valid questions, saying, oh, you're going to feel so stupid when this evidence comes out, when I prove my innocence. Yeah, what does that mean when you don't actually present any evidence after saying that? And you've got Eddie Hearn, obviously Conor Benn's promoter, who's just, using such a particular and semantic language to make out as if Conor Benn has been cleared to fight and it's all resolved, we're moving on. No, that clearly, seemingly isn't the case. If everything was hunky-dory and Conor Benn was able to fight, as Eddie Hearn was saying, he's cleared to fight, he's cleared to fight. Yeah, cleared to fight where? Because it doesn't seem like he's cleared to fight in the UK. And your actions kind of uphold that as well, because he's now fighting in Florida. So the whole thing stinks. It hasn't been resolved. And yeah, Conor Benn really shouldn't be fighting. But, boxers and their promoters are going to use those loopholes and wiggle out of these situations. But yeah, nevertheless, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about this news. Do you, like me, think that doesn't sit right? Clearly trying to use those loopholes and get out of basically facing the firing squad and presenting your case, presenting your evidence. Or do you just want to see this? You love Conor Benn so much you just want to see him fight? Leave it down below. I'll get back to you. Thanks for listening. I'll catch you in the next one.